The secret war against Ayatollah Khomeini, SAVAK's failed mission. From the moment Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini emerged as a vocal critic of the Shah's regime, he became one of SAVAK's top enemies. His influence stretched far beyond the mosques. He was a powerful voice against the monarchy, denouncing the Shah's rule as corrupt, oppressive, and a betrayal of Islam. SAVAK was tasked with eliminating this threat, and for years they waged a relentless secret war to silence him. But despite their brutal tactics, they failed, and their failure would cost the Shah his throne. The campaign against Khomeini began in the early 1960s. He had publicly condemned the Shah's white revolution, calling it a Western-backed attack on Iran's traditions. SAVAK responded with swift retaliation. In 1963, Khomeini was arrested in the middle of the night, triggering mass protests. Demonstrators were shot down in the streets, but instead of silencing the opposition, SAVAK's crackdown only made Khomeini a martyr. Realizing that imprisonment was not enough, the Shah ordered his exile. Even outside of Iran, SAVAK never stopped tracking him. First in Turkey, then in Iraq, and later in France, Khomeini's movements were closely monitored. His speeches were banned in Iran, his writings confiscated, and any cleric who supported him was harassed or arrested. But despite SAVAK's efforts, Khomeini's influence only grew stronger. His sermons and messages were smuggled into Iran on cassette tapes, passed secretly from hand to hand. The more SAVAK tried to suppress them, the more Iranians wanted to hear what he had to say. Frustrated with its inability to contain Khomeini, SAVAK escalated its tactics. Agents in Iraq worked to pressure the government into expelling him, and when that failed, discussions of more extreme measures began. Some reports suggest that there were secret plans to assassinate Khomeini while he was in exile, but the risk of international backlash stopped the operation before it could be carried out. Instead, they focused on dismantling his support network inside Iran, arresting clerics, shutting down mosques that spread his teachings, and intimidating his followers. By the late 1970s, Khomeini had become the single greatest threat to the Shah's rule. Despite years of SAVAK's efforts, his influence had grown far beyond what anyone had expected. When mass protests erupted in 1978, it was Khomeini's name that the crowds chanted. The revolutionaries saw him as their leader, and the Shah, realizing he had lost, tried one last desperate move. He sent envoys to negotiate with Khomeini. But it was too late. In January 1979, the Shah fled Iran. SAVAK, the once feared secret police, collapsed as its leaders were either executed, arrested, or went into hiding. On February 1st, Khomeini returned to Iran, greeted by millions of supporters. The enemy SAVAK had spent years trying to eliminate was now at the center of Iran's new future. SAVAK's failure to stop Khomeini was more than just an intelligence failure. It was the beginning of the end for the Shah. The very tactics they had used to crush opposition, censorship, torture, exile, had only made Khomeini stronger. In the end, the secret war that SAVAK had waged against him had backfired spectacularly, proving that even the most powerful secret police could not destroy an idea once it had taken hold of a nation.